Hi, welcome to Tone Recipes. Today we're looking at Carlos Santana from the Supernatural era. His tone in that era was just amazing, and it took a while for me to work out how he kind of got that tone back when it first came out, purely because I was about 11, 12. I had a Squier Telecaster and a Park amp, and I remember spending hours trying to play that album. I did learn it note for note, but it's just so good. And the guitar tones, you can achieve an approximation with some limited equipment. Obviously Carlos uses Paul Reed Smith guitars, which he has his own sort of like model. He uses Mesa Boogies and Dumble amps and has all kinds of amazing stuff to kind of help him get there, but he actually, a lot of it is in his hands, and he's got these like hammer shaped, fingers at the ends of his fingers. So what I'm going to do, we're going to have a look at how to get that sound with some really basic stuff. Now, I'm going to do this with a single coil guitar and humbucker guitar. The most basic humbucker guitar I've got is this Les Paul. I think this is quite a great sounding guitar in the first place, but it's kind of how we're going to manipulate that sound to approximate a Santana tone, because actually it is quite different, his guitar. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm just going to play the track just so we can hear it. So again, that's quite hard to achieve. So we're just going to start with our katana here. We're going to have a look at what we can do. So I've got clean tone. A little bit grainy because I've gone on the crunch. So one tip that I've learned from the Tom Bukovac videos is how you hold your pick and what you do with your pick. If you use the shoulder of the plectrum to pluck the sound, check this out for a difference. So this is the normal tip that most people play with. This is the shoulder. There's a different kind of sound there, and I think it does sound a little bit more like what Carlos does for me. If you have a pingy kind of sound like I do when you use the tip, then try using the shoulder of the pick. Carlos uses big triangular plectrum, so his is quite a pointy kind of pick that he uses, but I just can find that tone a little bit better with just right out the gate. Let's have a look at what amp settings we can look at. So here I've got gain at 49. If I push that gain a little bit, it's already kind of sounding nice. Alright, I kind of like that. It's sounding cool. Just going to knock my volume down a bit because it's kind of sounds alright. But it's not got that low end and that mid-range. So on the equaliser, this is where a lot of the work is kind of done. There's a big mid push on there, so I'm going to push my mids up. Let's just try that. I can hear it popping out a bit more. But the other thing that he has is this really nice low end, and it's hard to recreate because it obviously happened in a room somewhere in Clive Davis's, whatever studio they decided to use. But I can hear that real. There we go. To me, that sounds a good approximation of it. And the presence is still quite high. I'm going to turn the presence down just a little bit. It's kind of getting closer. On my guitar, I'm using volume at full, but mess with your tone. So if I tried this with the tone at 10, there's a lot of top end that perhaps isn't quite appropriate for this. So by knocking that down to say 5 or 6, I've got a lot more of that warmth in there. Now this is where I'm going to just add the final piece to the kind of humbucker tone by looking at my drive that I'm going to add to it. Now this might add a bit of extra noise because obviously it's going to add a load more gain to the situation. So on the, I'm going to use an overdrive, and I'm going to use something, what we got here, a warm overdrive. Let's try that. Let's try a warm overdrive and just put that on a little bit. Start with it at 20. That sounds pretty cool. Let's just listen to the track. There's a bit of a honk going on with the sound. So if I try that on my treble pickup, I'm going to roll the tone right down because I'm aware that there's a... I can hear more of that in it now. So volume's at full. If I add a bit more treble, it's starting to get that honk in there. Let's have a listen. Alright, so that's with a humbucker. It's, again, it's never going to be the exact same tone because I haven't got the ingredients here. You know, I haven't got a dumble, I haven't even got a PRS, I haven't even got the guitar, but I'm getting an approximation. Let's have a little look then. How to do this with a single coil. So the single coil guitar, this is the Silversky. Yes, it's a PRS, but it's basically a Strat. You know, that's what it's doing. It's just a nice Strat. Let me add some. So, I think we've established that it does sound a little bit better on the treble side of the pickup, so down here by the bridge. I think we've established that if we roll the tone back, especially with single coil stuff, it fattens it up a little bit. Okay, that's sounding alright, but it's not quite there. Needs a bit more bass because it's single coils. And I'm going to try something here. So because it's the warm overdrive will add a load of noise, but let's check it out. Sounding cool. I've been experimenting with big muffs. Check this out. If I try it with a big muff. It's doing the harmonic thing that you can hear in the track a lot better with the big muff. If I just play it. No. Let me try that. And the other cool thing is with something like this is you've got loads of sustain. So you can achieve an approximation, and this was, growing up, the only way I could navigate getting tones was using, you know, I had single coil guitars. I didn't have anything with humbuckers in, unfortunately, and I just have like an amp with an EQ, so I just try and EQ my way around it. So by adding bass, adding a bit more gain, and I could get close enough to play along with it quite comfortably. So there we go. That's one of the ways that you can combine your amplifier gain stage, your EQ, and a little bit of an effect to get the tone that you want, and that's the tone recipe for a Santana-ish kind of sound. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you think this is good. It'd be good to hear your own contributions if you've done things that sound in the ballpark as well. And if you think it sounds nothing like it, that's cool. You know, each to their own. So yeah, thanks for watching.